Good morning, everybody. I want to say hello to everyone on Giving Tuesday. I want to welcome you to the December 2025 ChamberCast, Monmouth Regional ChamberCast, and I'm Terrence Wall, the co-founder of the ChamberCast. And you know, folks, if you follow ChamberCast, we have every month we have a fantastic group of guests that get together to share content and information that you can use and bring home to your business, your family, your businesses, and also the ripples in the pond really throughout the region, throughout beyond the region here. But I also just want to give a quick shout out. The person I count on to put every single one of these ChamberCasts together, from the guests to the lineup to everything else, is my wife Jeannie. I want to thank you so much, because really without Jeannie, these ChamberCasts would not exist. The point is to provide value in this hour, and I got a working bet with Jeremy that this is going to be one of the fastest hours that we've ever been in. He doesn't believe me, but he's going to grade me at the end of the day. It's all about giving today, and so is it still at the end of this hour? Is it still better to give than to receive? And the answer you're going to find, and probably already believe, is a resounding yes. So here on Giving Tuesday, what is Giving Tuesday? Where did it start? Well, there's a fellow named Henry Timms, I believe. There's probably a couple different stories here. But in 2012, from the 92nd Street Y, and also in partnership with the United Nations Foundation, they wanted to have a counter-narrative to Cyber Monday, to Black Friday, and these kinds of things, to reorient folks into giving back. And we're going to talk about in so many different ways that you can do that today. And also today from this meeting, you're going to have websites, contact information, ways that you can give today. We're going to talk about the $30,000 matching grant that you have and all the work that you're doing that's based on today to maximize the value of giving to folks. I want to thank Ralph Zucker and Inspired in his vision here and over in Chicago and Fort Monmouth, the incredible things that he's doing with his team. We have a power panel of local nonprofit leaders. I'm going to introduce them, and then we're going to go around the room here in the audience so you can see the folks that are here. We're also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so please feel free to share the critically important information you're going to get today on how to give back on Giving Tuesday. We have with us Jeremy Grunin, the president of Grunin Foundation. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maureen Lloyd, co-president, Monmouth Park Charity Fund.
Thank you.
Gwendolyn Love, executive director of Lunch Break. Beatrice Osterheld, executive director of Community Affairs Resource Center, CARC.
Thank you.
Who is also our event sponsor. You're going to hear from key folks from their incredible organization in a moment. We also have Bob Hugel, founder of the incredible Francis Foundation.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes. And Doreen DeMarco, local legend here in real estate circles and elsewhere, and my God, the fantastic DeMarco's Catering, co-chair of the Homedale Foundation for Educational Excellence, HFEE. I also like to give a huge shout out to a guy who's so busy, but he takes the time to make sure that this production is sound, literally and figuratively, and that's Ming Chen's Shared Universe podcast. This is a busy guy traveling all across the world, and he makes it a point to be here to make things work here, right here in Bell Works for ChamberCast. So thank you for that. You know, all the folks here are part of different organizations. What you're also going to find is that they're all interconnected, that all of it's connected, and you're going to see that during the conversation. So while I'm speaking a little bit now, you're going to start hearing me be quiet, which my wife would be really thankful for. But you're going to hear all the interplay on giving and how you can get involved and how so many people are interconnected in giving back and helping folks. So what we'd like to do quickly, Jeannie, is we're going to go around the room so you can introduce yourself and your organization.
Yes, and first we're going to hear from our sponsor, CARC.
That's why that's why we're here, yeah. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Tara Demyanovich, Director of Community Relations at CARC, Community Affairs and Resource Center. We have locations in Asbury Park, Lakewood, Freehold, and West Long Branch. And we have over 10 programs and services that really lift the community up, the people that are in need of all these services that are free to anyone who needs it. We have things like rent assistance, to prevent homelessness. We have lead remediation, and Beatrice, by the way, will go through many of these programs. We have many different programs that assist people and make them feel good about themselves, and that makes them self-sufficient.
And I'm Sherilyn.
Sherilyn Przlomski, the Director of HR, and we have more information on Community Affairs and Resource Center right on the back table back there. Please feel free to take whatever you'd like. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for sponsoring meetings today. Okay.
They make me look
So,
good, huh?
I want to start with Maureen. I do. Monmouth Park Charity Fund, and I want everyone to go around the room because what is the organization? What are you working on? And also, what's the interplay with the different projects? Because some folks are organizations that are involved in their own individual affairs.
Your boss is going.
Yeah.
You go around the room and introduce everybody.
Oh, I always get the agenda wrong. All right, Jeannie, we're going to go around the room and introduce yourselves as we work on this music.
Okay, great.
Welcome.
I'm Jim Jameson. I'm with Shore District Advertising in Allentown, Toms River.
Thank you.
I'm Dylan Lloyd, and I help my mom, Maureen, out with the Monmouth Park Charity Fund.
Woo, thank you, Dylan.
Hi, Akhil Verma. I'm the co-founder of Empire Technology Partners. So we help small businesses with their IT, automation, cybersecurity, and AI deployment needs. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorothea. I'm the co-owner of Zando Financial and the co-founder of the Victor Zando Foundation.
Amy Williams from Monmouth County Habitat for Humanity.
Lucy, your independent insurance broker. I help you shop around for your life insurance, health insurance, annuities. I make a better day for you.
And I always say this Renaissance man also is playing the grand piano on the way in, right? And is a tennis pro. Yeah. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Brooke Dawson, and I'm from Homedale High School. Hi, I'm Bella Buffa. I'm a senior at Homedale High School, and we're really happy to be here.
Good morning, everyone. I'm David Chadwick. I own a company called Red Sky Events. We're a full-service photo booth company, and we help you make your events fun.
Hi, I'm Randy Zamkatovich, and I'm with 180 Turning Lives Around.
My name's Eric. This is Drew and Anthony. We're from Mazda Recycling, local waste and recycling company.
Hi, my name is Paul Thurston, and I'm from T Marketing. I'm the owner and operator of it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Frank Luna with Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Great foundation.
Gina Augusta, Brookdale Community College.
Good morning, Roman Feldman with Tour Technology Group, right in the Bellworks here.
Hello, Michelle Satilli. I'm the co-chair of the HFEE with Doreen DeMarco.
Thank you for all you do for Homedale schools.
Good morning, Ann Mohammadi, board member of Lunch Break and also the Monmouth Park Charity Fund, so get to work with the amazing Gwen and Maureen.
Hi, Jim McNamara, Jersey Shore Blue Claws baseball team and Blue Claws Charities.
Judy Musa, communications director for HABCOR. We house the homeless in Monmouth and Ocean County.
And I work with Judy, Debbie Hepdig, HABCOR, and HABCOR is a weird name, so HAB are the initials of 3 men who froze to death in Red Bank, which is the foundation of our organization to provide housing for homeless.
Good morning, Gail Bonus with the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, and thank you, Jeannie and Terrence, for all you do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Alana Denenberg with Gelman Images. I'm here on behalf of Gary Gelman, and we are a full-service production company specializing in photography, videography, drone, and social media services.
Thank you. And thank you for the wonderful videos you make for the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, good morning. My name is Teresa. I'm from CSAV Systems.
Angelo from Shore District Advertising, a sponsorship sales firm.
James Davis with FC Monmouth, Monmouth County's men's and women's soccer team.
And Therese Rolke, and I'm with the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for being here today, and happy holidays.
Did I miss anyone? I'm Jeannie Wall, and I'm the owner of Tap Into, publishing for many towns in Monmouth County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to jump in, and if we can get an adjustment to the music, I think the fellow back there can handle that.
Yes.
That would be great. So, Maureen Lloyd, courtesy of Jeremy Grunin, we're going to jump back to you now. No, it should just work.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Is your mic on?
Oh, you can? Okay, I'm sorry. I love to hear my voice. Anyway, first of all, Terrence, thank you so much for inviting Monmouth Park Charity Fund. I look at myself as co-president, but I actually represent so many incredible board members, committee people that make it work for us. And your beautiful wife, Jeannie, where did Jeannie go, is also on our board and has really brought us so far with our PR. Also, all these wonderful people around me, I've probably known some of you, by about 25 years, almost as long as my son. But Monmouth Park Charity Fund, a lot of people don't know us just because we do not directly give to clients or community members in Monmouth County. But we have the task, and a joyous task, of working with a lot of the nonprofits. Actually, I'll go into it, but we gave to 56 this year, nonprofit organizations in Monmouth County just in November. So we started in 1946. Obviously, I was not around then, but these two amazing philanthropic women, Haskell and Betty Island, started our organization just based on taking care of Monmouth County, those that were in need in Monmouth County. So they started this. It was great. They had big parties. It was wonderful. Then when I got involved, I think it was 1997, because Dylan was a baby, I came in and things changed. A lot of the landscape of Monmouth County, there are a lot of nonprofits now, and we are so fortunate to have all of these nonprofits. But Monmouth Park used to have a gala for 1,000 people. Everybody is not going to go to that anymore. So we're almost closing our doors, actually. We were having a hard time funding different nonprofits, and we had to come up with something different. So a fellow, Jim Kiernan, who was with TD Bank on our board, said, how about something related to the racetrack, Kentucky Derby celebration, something to do with Kentucky Derby, people can bet. So that is where I feel like, even though we have the history, we've started over again in some ways, because now we're doing amazing. We have amazing donors and amazing nonprofits that we work with.
And so your model is you're sending up mini grants and things along those lines, right? And that may tie into, for example, like your work, Gwendolyn, and how you're doing your direct so many meals and so many different things for folks. Can you share your organization, the mission, and particularly in Giving Tuesday, you have a $30,000 potential match, right? Can you share what, because you're...
Absolutely. So Lunch Break started 42 years ago, really just as a food pantry, and the board of directors at that time really thought that they were very ambitious and very optimistic, and the whole idea was they were going to open up this food pantry, eradicate the whole issue of hunger in the area, in Red Bank area, and they were going to close their doors. And so, unfortunately, as we know, things have not been going in the right direction for many, many decades, right? So not just Lunch Break, but so many more organizations are feeding or looking, providing housing and all the different things to try to help people be whole. So Lunch Break, 42 years later, now we have our community kitchen. We have a client choice pantry where families are coming in to get food. We're open 7 days a week now. It was just 6 days a week, but now we open up just for the football season, so people can have a place to come and sit down and watch football, have a meal, and have some community as well. Because that's a big thing with Lunch Break is it's about the fellowship and community and providing resources and letting the community know what else is out there in the community that can help them with their needs as well. But so we depend on our donors. I mean, Giving Tuesdays is just one day out the year, but it is a big year. It's a big day for us to really shed a light on giving. It's right after Thanksgiving. People are busy, trying to get their meal together. It's right before Christmas and other, maybe religious holidays. And we just want to shed a light on the fact that please don't forget us. We need you. We have a Lunch Break has a $30,000 match. We have a very generous donor that came to us and said, we want to make sure that the children are going to be having a wonderful Christmas. And so we're using that $30,000 to provide gift cards and toys and things like that. But he said to me very specifically, but I want you to use this $30,000 to incentivize other people to give, so that we're trying to match the $30,000.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And doesn't your work dovetail, for example, the work with CARC? And because you're helping folks with battling homelessness and working through issues, domestic violence, other different dynamics. So I want to lean into the intersection of the organizations, the nonprofits, how you partner together. Can you speak to that?
Yes.
And CARC.
Thought I had a microphone, but no. So yes, actually, one of the first person when I started 15 years ago that I knock on her door and say, I'm not sure what I'm doing, can you help me? So I'm always very grateful. I'm grateful for Maureen because this time we've received a grant, and we try to work with many organizations. We do domestic violence, like you just say, but we work a lot with 180 that we're just a small organization compared to what 180 does in domestic violence. Homeless, we do very well with homeless. We have a grant from the county. We also have a grant from the state. We have 2 of our staff at the courthouses trying to avoid eviction for people, which is, since COVID, that has been the biggest problem. You have a family that owe $10,000, they're never going to catch up unless somebody grab them by the hand and tell them how to do it, how to pay their bills so that they still have a home tomorrow. We also are very strong in job readiness. We're the job readiness side for the county. So anybody who is in TANF or GA or SNAP have to come to our organization for a month. Our job is to find them an employment. I am very strong that if when you're working, everything looks easier. There's less domestic violence. You're going to have money to pay your rent. You're going to have money to buy food. We also, during the summer, from April to October, we do a free farmers market every week. We do it in Freehold, we do it in Ashbury Park, and we do it in Lakewood. That has been a godsend, and that has only been possible by donations. We started with somebody calling me in the middle of COVID and say, I'm going to give you money, but I don't want you to buy gift cards. I want you to give the food. I didn't know anything about doing a free farmers market. I went online, I called a couple of companies, and I was able to do it. And we started, and we have been doing it since then. So I'm very lucky for that.
And see, and you're talking about having access for folks and treating folks equally and giving them the opportunity, which ties right into the mission statement with the Grunin Foundation, where it's about reaching out, and you're more aggregating resources and directing them to make sure that folks have an equal shot and equal access to different things. We have a very, very diverse economy, very diverse counties: Monmouth County, Ocean County, the Central Jersey Shore, as you would call it, right? Can you speak to the work that you're doing, Jeremy, and your family legacy of philanthropy from your parents and now you, and how you're working to whether Giving Tuesday, as we're talking about today, or really Giving 365 to help make this area here and beyond a better place?
Yeah. So thank you, and thank you all for putting this together. I mean, this is amazing to, when we think about Giving Tuesday, we think about, this is one day, and at the end of the day, a lot of nonprofits and a lot of organizations, you have boards, God bless you, you have boards who are very much about what does your activity look like on Giving Tuesday? How are we going to raise a bunch of money on Giving Tuesday? It's amazing, by the way, Gwen has a match at lunch break for $30,000. That's really important, but at the end of the day, Giving Tuesday is about really bringing visibility to the nonprofit sector and to the issues that we deal with every day. At the Grunin Foundation, we are a place-based family foundation, wholly funded by my family. Very fortunate that my parents were born before me, so they made a lot of money. My job is to give it away. And so we spend the majority of our time doing that. But money can only go so far. And at the end of the day, as everyone up here knows, the dollars that the philanthropic sector and then puts together can't nearly compare to the dollars that are necessary to be able to get from from our federal government, our state government, our local governments. And so at the Grunin Foundation, we spend a lot of time talking about how we can bring folks together in coalition, in community, talk about common issues, common needs, and how we can work together to best utilize those funds and to drive more funding to the areas and the sectors that are in most need of that. We also spend a lot of time talking about advocacy. Unfortunately, there's a perception that folks that end up needing services from organizations like CARC or like Lunch Break, those are folks that are sitting on their butts just waiting for their checks to come every month. And the reality is, and if we haven't learned that during COVID, those are folks that live next to you and me. Right, they're folks. The majority of America is just one paycheck away from needing help on a food line. Right, that's just the stark reality. And so we need to raise those issues up to those that are able to make broad impact and let everybody know what those issues are and how we can work together in community in the richest country in the world to make sure that people are not food insecure, are not medically insecure, or insecure in any way, especially when they're trying their best to just provide for their family. So that's our mission.
Well, and thank you for that. And giving isn't really just about writing a check. It's really not. And I'd like to open it up to Bob, because you can be moving along and everything's wonderful and things are good and maybe things are a bit tight but good, and then your child's diagnosed with cancer and your whole world starts falling apart. And it's not about, it's about the mortgage, about all these different things, but it's also about people giving their time to show that they care. Bob, can you share, Frances is your mom, and the story, because things could be moving along very well until your tables get kicked over and the china flies and breaks, and you're trying to figure out how to just make it through the next day. Can you speak to the work that you're doing, Bob, which is incredible work?
Thank you, Terry, and to Terry, to Jeannie, for putting this together. This is amazing, and as we're all echoing up here, it's Giving Tuesday today, but what it's really about is 365 days per year. And what's amazing about Monmouth County is how much we care. The organizations up here, the organizations that we work with that are not here, we work together and we care about each other so much. And as Terry was mentioning, what can be worse than a parent being told that their child has cancer? It's a nightmare. It just throws them into this world that they never experienced before. And I sadly say there's only one other thing worse than being told that your child has cancer. What's that parent going to feel like when the doctor says there's nothing more we can do for your child? And I stress those things because that's what the Francis Foundation is all about. My mom, unfortunately, she was in her early 60s, was diagnosed with colon cancer. It took her in 6 months, but she inspired us because of how she lived her life to take care of kids. And that's what we're all about, taking care of sick kids and their families. Just recently, we had a story up in North Jersey, a single mom with 2 kids, that she was evicted from her apartment because she didn't have any money, and now she was living in the hospital while her child was being treated. We got involved to put a roof over that family's head. We try to bring comfort and assistance to the families, smiles to the kids while they're going through this. And what can be more special than there's a child fighting cancer and we're bringing smiles to that child? Terry mentioned Ralph Zucker before. I was actually involved in a podcast here about 6-7 years ago, and Ralph was there. And getting to the giving portion of the end of the podcast, Ralph came up to me and said, if you ever want any facility here for your kids, you're welcome. Last year, we had 200 kids downstairs for our Santa party last year. It was phenomenal what he did. We have a great Santa Day coming up. As you can see, I'm very, very emotional about it, what we do. And there's a joy in the giving. And there's a special joy in the giving. Last night, I was at one of my grandsons was playing basketball in Marlboro. And at halftime, the sister of one of the players on my grandson's team came up to me. I'll mention her name, Callie Higgins from Middletown, and she said, Mr. Ugal, I did a little fundraising selling bracelets. here's a $500 check for the kids with cancer.
That's great.
That is amazing, to see that. I don't know where I heard it, but I just heard it within the last year, and maybe it's been said many different ways over the different years. But you talk about legacies, and you talk about your own kids and what we're trying to teach. Legacy is not what you leave for them, it's what you leave in them. And that means so much to me, to my 4 kids, my 8 grandchildren. And it was heartwarming today. I see, some donations coming into the Francis Foundation through our PayPal. It's really easy on our website. But from guys I played lacrosse with at Villanova 50 years ago.
Oh, that's why I liked you.
Yeah, more. Villanovans, we stick together, right?
Yes.
So, please, after this is over, come up to me. I promised Jeremy I would be less than 15 minutes, right, Jeremy? So, thank you for listening to me, and thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for your giving. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. You're talking about hearing about giving, hearing about volunteering, showing people that you care, and also part of this is also education. And we have which Homedale schools. I grew up in Homedale, graduated from the school, served on the Board of Ed for 7 years and board president last year, and we're always so happy that the next generation is here at the podcast. Mr. Cohen, right? Isn't he awesome? He's the best. So the next generation is also here, and they're learning. Like you talk about what you could develop in the next generation, because they have to continue. They have to fix what's broken and then continue what's working. And out of this podcast, Mr. Cohen and the students, they developed over 100 internships right from here, which is really, really incredible. And and they take the information they get here and they take it back. And so whether it's Homedale or Middletown or Keansburg or Ocean County, Beechwood, Ocean Gate, all across the state, the next generation, they're in their schools now, they're learning and they're growing, and they need the supports and they need the resources to make the world a better place and to inform that. And one of the organizations is Homedale Foundation for Educational Excellence. And Doreen, if you can share the work there, because education also is paramount. It helps pulling folks out of homelessness and regaining and retraining and building strength at any age, frankly. But if you could speak to the work that you're doing.
Yes, hi, thank you. On behalf of my co-chair, Michelle, sitting back there, first of all, thank you so much for having us, and you give me an opportunity to highlight the foundation. Thank you all for everything that you're doing. I mean, we're sitting here and we're talking finances and everything and hoping to get those donations, but it's also really important to remember, like you mentioned earlier, the ripple effect. And sometimes you can help somebody just with a smile, a hug, a word of encouragement, and sometimes that's all that you need to turn somebody's day around. So we try really, really hard to support all the kids of Homedale. The foundation began as a community and school foundation back in 1996, and since our inception we have raised over $2.5 million for the children of Homedale. We're a K-12 district, and we have done amazing things with that school system. We've done everything from STEAM labs and math mobility labs to language labs, and it's just really amazing to know that our children are getting a top-notch education. And also, as a real estate agent, it's so heartwarming to see graduates coming back to Homedale to start their family and getting their kids into our school system today. So that's a legacy. They appreciate the education that they had when they grew up. They've done really well in life. They were given the right foundation to extend their college graduation education and secure these wonderful jobs that allow them to come back to Homedale. So again, it's that ripple effect that we are raising money for, to do everything that we can in the school that's not funded by the local system. And as you can see, you all have a little QR code in front of you. Giving Tuesday, we too are asking for donations. We're in the middle of our annual giving campaign. Every dollar counts. It doesn't need to be anything outrageous, but you go to Starbucks today and spend $10 or $15 on a coffee. So if you would just maybe give that up today and donate to us or any of these other foundations, that would be really incredible, because every dollar goes right back to our children, who then go into the world, and they're our future. They're our leaders, and we have to do everything we can for them, not only in Homedale, but in all school districts. So we're grateful for that opportunity to be able to do that.
Thank you for that. And let's talk about the business of nonprofits. I want to open it up to all the folks here. Nonprofit is if it's functioning well, it's functioning as a business with its core mission and the goals and objectives that you have. There's also an intersection. You do well by doing good, right? And many successful nonprofits have on their boards successful businesswomen and businessmen. I just wanted to open up, talk about the intersection of why it's good business to be involved in nonprofits on a regular basis. I want to open it up where Maureen, because you do mini grants, for example. You partner with businesses locally. Francis Foundation, you pack 1,000 folks into an event, and and I see it because I'm at the events. Significant, business leadership. How does that work into the corporate philosophy? And for the folks that run business, this is a very successful. This is a incredibly inspired building. What should the companies here be thinking about that they may not already be doing as far as intersecting and interacting with nonprofits? I'd like to open it up.
Thanks, Terrence. I just wanted to say a lot of people don't understand Monmouth Park Charity Fund. They're like, well, who are you? Are you on the racetrack? And I just want people to know, first of all, we've raised over $11 million since our inception. But it's really been important, like I mentioned before, when we almost closed our doors, you need to have that corporate background. Our donors are extremely important. And I feel really good that we have incorporated a lot of people from our Monmouth County, because that's what we usually do, is Monmouth County, into our core and into our donor base. I have examples of the hospital system, Hackensack Meridian. Granted, I had a little connection, but I really wanted that to keep going because they have the amount to do that. We were able to get that this year. Peter Cancro from Jersey Mike's happened to be a friend of mine, but we got him in through all of our board members and everything, and he learned about us. So I think that's really important to go out into our neighborhoods to really try to get those people. And Monmouth County has it's obviously a wealthy county, and you would think that everybody's just throwing money at you, but not everyone does that. So we don't have a lot of corporations either. Works, this is part of it, but that's something that we don't have, so we like to look out for that.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So so you asked about boards and board participation, yes, and the intersection of business folks. So first I want to recognize there's, we kind of were all recognizing as we went around the room here how many nonprofit folks are in this room. And so first I just want to thank and applaud each of you for the work that you're doing every day. And also, for the business folks out there, let me just say, there's a common misconception, right, that when you retire from your real job, right, you can just go and work in nonprofits, right, because that's easy. And so I think if you ask any one of the folks in this room who are in nonprofits, they would say, no. First, do you know how to use a copy machine? Do you know how to fix the phone system? When was the last time you plunged a toilet in the vat? Because that's what we have to do, because that's the budgets we run on, right? Not to mention that our nonprofit folks are dealing with folks who are absolutely dealing, at some of them, at the lowest points of their lives, the toughest part of their life. And these are people who are dealing with that every day, who aren't necessarily even in their best place at that given moment, but that's not okay. That's not something that they can bring with them to their jobs every day because they have to take care of other people. So what business folks do and what money folks do is incredibly important because no money, no mission. But remember and keep in mind that it's additive, right? This only works when we all work together, right? Everybody has an area of expertise. Everybody knows something, right? Even I have a couple things that I know and can bring from a knowledge standpoint, but we also have to understand that the people that are running these nonprofits every day, those are the subject matter experts in what they're dealing with. And every board member really contributes 1, 2, or 3 of the most important things, right? So we know the first thing is time, right? If you have the time, please, please, please figure out what resonates with you, how you can work with a nonprofit. If you have talent in any way, whether it's financial talent or whether it's legal talent or bank, whatever it may be, bring that. Cybersecurity, marketing. And then the last one, and this T is not bigger than the other ones, but we talk about it a lot more, is treasure. If you have money, right, please share it, right? Because there's lots of folks that need it. And these folks can help you with that.
365 days a year, right?
365 days a year. Now, go ahead, Bob.
Thanks, Terry. Dealing with the businesses, what we try to stress, the Francis Fund stresses is, in your own workplace, get involved in your own workplace on behalf of your charity. And as an example, we were talking about matches before. Yesterday, the Francis Foundation received a matching check from McGraw-Hill because one of our trustees' wife works at McGraw-Hill. There's matching opportunities out there to connect with the various businesses. So I think that helps us. It helps the charity raise the funds. In addition, like I see Jim McNamara back there, well, the Francis Foundation's had a relationship with the Blue Claws. Every summer we bring 100 kids on down to the Blue Claws and we have a great day. You foster those relationships with the businesses to help get those funds that we desperately need to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to send a family that has a kid in hospice down to Aruba for a week. Do those special things. You can create those business relationships. And I want to give a shout out. I don't think they're here. They're not here. New Jersey Natural Gas for like 25 years has been a great sponsor of us. I also recognize how they help out so many other charities. I'm having a senior moment here. That great gentleman down there, Tom, who left, just recently left.
Tom's awesome.
Yep, exactly. Tom was just absolutely fantastic. I know he's still involved with charitable work, but New Jersey Natural Gas is a great example of a charity caring about numerous, a company caring about numerous charities in the area. In addition, I think there's a lot of synergy to work together. We work together very closely with other like charities in North Jersey, in Monmouth County, the Myelin Terry Foundation down in Oakhurst. Kelly Terry does a great job. Live Like Unicorn down in Freehold. And there's a lot to be said about working together and helping each other. But as Terry says, we have a huge gala. We get a lot of corporate sponsorship from that. But here's my last point on this. There's a lot to be said about corporate business, company morale, camaraderie, the sense of giving. We have about 10 different companies that donate toys for us, and we put out about 1,000 gifts, and we have this huge Santa Day. But the joy for that company, the camaraderie, the morale of the employees that they're doing something for the community, that gives a really nice sense for that particular company. It could be a large company, a small company. We have local engineering companies, local construction companies. It's huge for them. Avix Gym, up here in 34, they put out a big box for us every holiday season, collect about 300 toys, gifts that we share with our kids. So just some other points that I thought would be helpful. Thank you.
Go ahead, yes.
I don't know if my mic's on. Giving just feels really, really good. And when you give at whatever level you can give, it goes out into the universe. And I say, start small. There's so many wonderful nonprofits that you can give to, but if you align yourself with one that truly resonates with you, it's not going to feel like work. You're just going to feel so good about it, and you're going to want to keep giving and keep helping, and then that kind of grows and brings you out into different areas too. So, listen, the Homedale Foundation has matching gifts too, and we generate a lot of money from that, which is fantastic. So if you just look into it, find a way to give, follow your heart, and it's a beautiful gift that you can give, not only to yourself, but to the people involved.
Thank you. Gwen?
I do want to add, too, is that I think a lot of people, the giving sometimes really does start with the awareness as well. a lot of people don't always know what's going on in their community. They don't always know that the person next door, or the person that's pumping their gas, or the person that's taking care of their mom in the nursing home or whatever, what their struggles are, or the teachers or the firemen or whatever it is. They don't always know that. I think that, getting involved is like the first step almost, Many times when we have people coming into lunch break and they're volunteering their time in the kitchen, they're volunteering their time in our Clara's Closet or in the pantry, it's an eye-opening experience. It really is. And so we invite teams, business community to come in and bring their staff in. It's a nice team event. But once they're there, they're realizing, wow, this is going on right here in their backyard. And people are coming from all over in terms of the need. So I think that sometimes it's about the exposure of what's going on, the exposure of the need that people aren't aware. They'll say, I hear about this all the time, but until you see it. And then there's a connection. There's a connection that, yes, I need to be involved. I need to be involved, not just with the giving financially, but with the time, as that has been said. And that's the way to get it started, is just come in. We really invite the business community. We invite our whatever community. Please come in if you have not been into lunch break, because you've got to experience what is going on. You read in the paper, we're all in front of our TV, our phones in front of us, but until you walk into a place like lunch break where you see people that are in need, the seniors that are coming for food, the seniors that are living in their cars, the families that are coming in, it's really something that the community as a whole needs to see first and say, yes, there is an incredible need right here in our very wealthy community. But it starts with that connection. It starts with seeing and that awareness. And I think once people see, and I know once people see, because we experience it every day, then people want to give back. They want to give back. They want to help. They want to figure out a way that we can help our community. Because most times people will say, I never knew this was going on. I never knew it was like this. And I think it's important. So please, it's about connecting. It's about, really seeing firsthand. And Lunch Break is a local charity that you can walk in the door and say, wow, I'd like to have a tour and really see what's going on. Sit down with staff, volunteers, and really see what is happening right in your backyard. So just want to put that out there.
Thank you. You're going to say something more?
No, just going back to what Gwen was saying too. I think people in our area, and especially during this time, SNAPs, the whole issue we had with the government shutdown, people are sometimes embarrassed to get help. And being a nurse, I've seen this before, but mental health is a big thing. That's just an example of people that might say, oh, I don't have a problem, or if they don't have food and they're living out. So I think it's important for us listening now to everyone to really, if you see someone that's in need, really reach out to them, whether it's on a street corner or something, say, hey, it's 40 degrees, this place in Asbury or this place in Red Bank. A lot of people don't know all of these charities. I know because we give to so many, but unfortunately, a lot of these people, so we have to get past that stigma of giving. And I hope Monmouth Park Charity Fund is able to kind of open that up. When we do our tea, we just had, that's what keeps me coming back every year, is we give to 57, my back was killing me, standing checks to 57 or 56 organizations. We gave $206,250. But to hear, I was like, my God, we could take care of the world here if people were aware. So I just wanted to, obviously thank all of you for doing that, but I hope you can use us too to reach out to these people and to collaborate with other agencies. And I'll talk about Accomplish More Together because that was the gas company.
Yeah, and so what I want to do is talk a little bit about building capacity. Then we're going to open it up for questions before we close out the event today. You've been Venmoing everybody the charities, Jeremy, right? I'm going to leave. He was actually Venmoing charities for the last 10 minutes.
I literally had your payment due to lunch break. So I mean,
See?
Thank you.
Caught in the act of giving. Caught in the act of giving. So so the there are, as was referenced earlier, there are many nonprofits here, and folks get involved in nonprofits for why? Passion, purpose, maybe personal experience, and then driving into that. But sometimes you land in like Robert Redford in The Candidate, they say, you're a congressman. Now what? So you're in the nonprofit space. Maybe you started a nonprofit. You've been named executive director. Now what, right? You need to rise to the level of occasion and rise to that work. And you may or may not know precisely how to make it happen. You have a wonderful organization. You're trying to figure out how to expand it. And this goes to JG over here. Want to talk about capacity building, or maybe Beatrice. And how do nonprofits get those skills for their folks that they bring on, good, talented, passionate people, but that you can mobilize their skills and their passions, but also have the knowledge to make the gears work, to expand the group, to make it happen. Beatrice.
Okay, I'm going to just give an example. I started here 15 years ago. The agency was in existence for 40 years before me. So when I started, I had 7 employees. And my budget, I don't think it was more than $400,000. I didn't know what I was really kind of getting into it. I did it because I was part of the board, and they asked me, please apply. And I was the only one who came with a business plan. But I'll tell you, today I have 51 employees, and we are like at $8 million budget. Great. But I'll tell you, you need to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. You start working 100 hours a week. You start knocking in doors. At the beginning, I partnered with Monmouth University, who actually was a godsend for me. Did my first website, helped me to create a logo. But you can do it. It just takes a while. One of my goals from the beginning was to give health insurance to my staff. And I couldn't because we didn't have the funding. And I worked until 2 years ago. I had some beautiful angel people that helped me and work with me. And we are doing it now. And I am very proud of that. But there were people like Grunin Foundation who met with me and just talked to me and tell me, you can do it. And that gave me, I'm going to tell you, the strength to keep going. And then you do partners. I have a great partnership with DCA that now they call me and say, we have this grant. You want to apply for it? But I didn't have that 15 years ago. I was begging. And I got people coming and say, we have to take the grant away because you're not performing. I said, give me 6 months and I will perform. And I did. But that's the capacity building that you have to do. You have to surround yourself with people. Start hiring people like Sherilyn and Tara, which I couldn't afford them before, and now I can. And you can do it, and you have to show the people around you, and also partner with nonprofit, because they will teach you. I have partnered with Gwen, I have partnered with Interface, I partnered with Boys and Girls Club. You work together and you learn from each other. And that's one thing that we need to learn, that we're not here to take your grant away. Let's work together.
Thank you. And Jeremy, aren't you building capacity by helping train nonprofits, running seminars and things like that?
Yeah, so really quick. So last week at the Girl Scouts here in Farmingdale, we had about 75 folks, development folks for nonprofits, with a nationally known speaker named Ria Wong. Excuse me. And she spent all day, literally from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., talking to nonprofit professionals around using AI to better enable themselves to drive fundraising, right? And that's 75 folks from completely different nonprofits, completely different segments of the world, from a nonprofit perspective, coming together to share where they are on that continuum of learning. Because at the end of the day, we know that rising tides do lift all boats. We do also know that rising tides don't lift all boats equally, right? And the great equalizer is the ability for us all to learn together and to work in community to drive solutions together. Tomorrow, one more thing, Vu Lei, who is also a nationally recognized speaker, will be addressing 600 nonprofit folks in Somerset at the New Jersey Center for Nonprofits winter convening. That's 600 nonprofit folks who are coming together to share best practices, to talk about things that are challenges, to talk about how they've knocked down those challenges, and helping support each other to make real impact in our communities. And that's the kind of thing that we need to continue to drive so that we can work together to, this is not the Hunger Games, right? We are not trying to beat each other up. We are trying to support each other to make a better world for those that live in our communities.
I'm not quite seeing catnip, but or it goes. Thank you. That's very well said. So let's open it up. We have time for a few questions, and then what we're going to do from our panel is I'd like to hear what's the next big thing and how do folks reach you, because this is also on YouTube and Facebook and typically seen by thousands of folks as it gets shared around. And so Jeannie, let's get started. Thanks.
Hi.
HabCor.
Hey, I'm Debbie Heptig, and I've worked with so many of you people, but it's a pleasure to be in the nonprofit sector for over 35 years. And Terrence was on the board when I was with Big Brothers, and so it's neat that so many people continue to stay connected to the nonprofit communities, even though we move around a little bit. But my question is, and I love that Gwen and Lunch Break have this amazing, and I've been to your lunch and learns, and you can walk in and meet the staff. At HabCor, a challenge I have and would love feedback on is there's a lot of confidentiality. People are in their homes, or we go to tent cities or in parking lots, and I can't really bring donors to those sites. And so my challenge is always connecting, because I think you're right, Gwen, you need to connect the people with the people. You got to feel the passion, and that's why we never leave nonprofit, because we felt it and now we're stuck, right? But so how do we, Jeremy or people that are doing the grants, Maureen, how do we connect you guys with something so profound as homelessness when you can't really connect, bring them in the.
But I think, because we also have a housing program, and so when we're having a program where we're bringing in our donors, we also will ask a family if they're comfortable coming out and speaking to a donor. And so, and many of them are, especially when we let them know that, this person can potentially help us to continue our program, and they're benefiting. So we always find that there's someone that is willing to open up that door or come and meet us at lunch break or something like that. So I just feel that really connection with people, because people don't want to just necessarily write a check or just send money all the time. There are some donors that really want to know where the money is going, who is benefiting, things like that. And so once they can talk to the beneficiary of someone, and especially if that person can say that what we are doing is helping, they sell it for us, really. But we have a housing program, and that's what we do. We'll ask one of our recipients, can you please come out, meet with the donor? And they're happy. There's always someone that's happy to do it. So I would really say, try that.
And on top of that, you can pay people, right? It's okay if somebody's going to talk on behalf of your organization and is one of the folks that is receiving services. That's okay for them to be compensated for their time, right? It's amazing how many more people want to talk and want to share their experiences when they're being compensated, as everyone should be, for their time, right? And the second thing I will say to you is that's what boards are for. Boards are for developing their elevator pitches and for understanding how to resonate and talk to other donors. Why did they give? Why did they get involved? What was meaningful for them? And why did they start to give in the first place? That will resonate with other donors, and that will make other donors want to do the same things.
Thank you. Jeannie?
Yes.
Hi, Akhil from Empire Technology. First of all, really touched with all the information that you guys have shared, and I'm so glad that I'm here today. This is my first in-person event. I believe that technology is an enabler, and even for the nonprofit organizations, and Jeremy talked about AI, right? I am looking to get involved with nonprofit organizations because just the purpose and the mission is far bigger than what I have seen in some of the other organizations. What would be your feedback for somebody like me who supports technology enabling businesses in terms of reducing their friction? How can I be of a value to nonprofit organizations, and how can we safeguard nonprofit organizations? You know, with IAI, cybersecurity, everything is at risk, and you have donors, very confidential information. What do you guys think? How can we get involved?
I mean, I would love for you to get involved because AI terrifies me. Cybersecurity, all that terrifies me. It really does. You know, I mean, you know, we work so hard. All of us work so hard, and the work we do is so important. And the idea that someone is behind some black screen trying to take the money that we've raised so hard, you know, worked so hard to raise, or that the AI is going to be, you know, I mean, I'm terrified. So, talk to me.
Talk to me too.
Me too. So that's the point 100% is that folks are scared of technology, and I don't think the sector as a general rule has understood it, and most people don't understand it. I mean, you know, driving over here, there was an article about, I was listening to the radio. I shouldn't say CNN or Fox, right? I was listening to the radio and we were talking about AI-enabled dolls. And the dangers of what they're teaching our kids, which is a big Christmas gift this year, right? So like that's how like every parent and everybody's dealing with the same thing. So the education piece is so important. But I think those of us that have paid some attention to it have to recognize this is the great equalizer. This is how we break down barriers. These are how we break down barriers to education and to learning and to all these other pieces. But the last piece I'll say is none of the nonprofits here have the dollars to support cybersecurity work. They don't have the dollars to support to putting more infrastructure into their organizations. So whatever you could do to help them find and mine for those dollars, they would all be open to that, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, sticking with that, I think it's also people-driven, right? So I don't want to speak for everybody, but my guess is you don't have a lot of 25 and 30-year-olds sitting on your board, right? So they're not equipped with the newest skills that a lot of these nonprofits need to run. And I think the younger generation, the more they get involved, you know, they can start at a smaller level, but once they find that passion and that ability to help with their younger-minded skills, that's going to lead them, you know, to a future unknown to the older generations.
That's a fantastic segue.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
We happen to have that cohort right here. So thanks. Welcome.
We heard that you're a Homedale-based foundation. How can we, as Homedale students, get involved with helping the Francis Foundation?
Yeah. First, thank you. Yes, we are Homedale-based, and we're always looking for volunteers. On our website, there's an email, telephone number. You can talk to me right after this event, but all year long we have events. As I said, we have Santa Day on December 13th. Come right after the first of the year. We're down on iPlay for an iPlay day for all our kids. We have a huge pool party in August. The good people down at Good Sports USA. So we have many volunteer opportunities, and we would welcome you. Just reach out to me. Reach out to me, and we'll hook you up and put you to work. Sound good?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I just want to also add to the gentleman over here is, and as our members of the panel have mentioned, is we don't have that many 20-year-olds on our boards, and that's part of our transition that I'm looking at in terms of succession, et cetera. Who are we bringing on board? You know, and more I go to my younger nephews in terms of taking care of our website, taking, people like, I'm not a Facebook guy. I probably should be, but I'm not. But we have a Francis Foundation Facebook. So we're always looking for that talent to bring on, as I'm sure we all are when we raised our hands. But as one example to what you were asking about is in terms of the AI, I have no knowledge whatsoever about what AI is. It scares me to death when I watch 60 Minutes, and I watched Terminator with my son, 20 years ago. It seems to be coming true. Scary stuff, really scary stuff. But in terms of practicality, is now I do have somebody on our board that for the first time over the last year, when we're sending a message out to our donors, to our supporters, we're asking GPT GPT, whatever it is, okay, look at this message and make it better. When it first came back, I was amazed what ChatGPT did to our message, making it better. Absolutely stunned me in terms of making it better. And along those lines, in terms of going back what people were saying before, is you want your donors and supporters to understand what you do. You want them to feel the passion as well. So we really stress that when we're doing something, like for instance, after our Santa Day on December 13th, we want to get out pictures of the joy on the kids' faces of what they're supporting, that their dollars are making meaningful differences every single day. They're making a difference in the lives of these kids. And I want to end with this, talking about Villanova. I stole this from Father Peter. A quote from our president of Villanova University: the best way to improve your life is to improve the lives of others. And that's the bottom line. So
it's very, very well said. And so we're going to go with our panels here. And by the way, I don't know if you know, ChatGPT actually crashed this morning because he put his email in there, bobhugel@aol.com, and it didn't know what to do with it, right? So I want to thank everyone for being here. What we'd like to do, we're going to start with Doreen, come right over to Gwen. And remember, also, folks are going to watch us on YouTube and Facebook, so I want to make sure that they have the correct contact information. Two things is, what message you want folks to leave with today? It's Giving Tuesday, but it's giving every day, and giving is defined in so many different ways. It's time, it's treasure, and passion, and work. And what's the next big thing? Events coming up, different items, and how folks can contact you. So what do you want folks to leave with today from your organization or collectively together? How do they reach you, and what's the next big thing for the organization that you're part of coming up? And then afterwards, folks, I want everyone to come up, and we're going to take a fantastic photo before we all break for the day. So thank you. So Doreen, if we could start with you.
Thank you. I think one of my big takeaways would be just have grace, just be kind, just be thoughtful to everybody around you. That ripple effect is really quite amazing. I mean, speaking on behalf of the Homedale Foundation for Educational Excellence, we're investing in the future of our community with our children's education. I am sure every school district, or most of them anyway, probably have a foundation of their own. For those of you in Homedale, you can support us at hfee.org. We're always open to donations. We do have our 30th anniversary gala coming up in April. That's April 25th at the Tilling House. Invitations will be going out to that in a couple of months. But we do amazing things. I think everybody does amazing things. If you just believe in what you're doing and you're passionate about what you're doing, it comes through in everything that you do. So thank you for just trying to make the world a better place.
Thank you, Doreen. Beatrice, and thank you to CARC again for sponsoring us today. Really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
So, what giveaway? I think that today is a beautiful day to give to any organization that you want to, but for us, we believe in the future. We believe in empower families to be self-sufficient. We have been collecting toys. We have been collecting coats. We see a lot of children coming to our building with a little sweater when it's 30 degrees outside. So if you want to give something to us, it will be coats, toys, and money. Every penny that we receive, it goes right back to our community. I'm very proud of that. We see the family at their worst, and it's sad because you try to smile to them, and then eventually they'll smile you back when you can feed them and you can give them a roof over their head. So for us, that's very important. Our website is carcnj.org. It's very easy, very simple, and we have a PayPal that you can go into. We also send emails for Giving Tuesday. We're starting to do all of this. We're starting to attract donors. I didn't know how to do it. So I'm honest about it, and the last 3 years, I'm making an effort of learning how to do it better.
Well done. Right on your way. Thank you. Jeremy.
So I can always be reached at jeremy@gruninfoundation.org, or you can look on our website. We never say no to a meeting. Sometimes I postpone them, especially with a football club on the day before Thanksgiving. I think we were supposed to have lunch, but that was my fault. But overscheduled. Look, all I would say is if something resonates with you, just do something. Right? Like, there's no such thing as giving too little. There's certainly no such thing as giving too much. And time and talent are equally as important as treasure. My biggest takeaway today is the full circle moment of Bob talking about Terminator. And if anybody's watched the new season of Stranger Things, like, Sarah Connor's like on Terminator, but she's gotten much older. Anyway, so that's all I got. And please, we are always happy to help anyone find their place. And if you don't know how to get started, please reach out to us. That's kind of what we do and what we're here for.
Thank you.
What I take away is that everyone here and everyone that watches the telecast, etc., should never underestimate what you can do to make the world a little bit better place. Every single individual, no matter what you do, how small you think it may be, do it. You don't hesitate and do it. Help these other charities, help us. That's what's most important to me, is that I just think too many people stay in the background thinking, no, I can't really do this. Yes, you can. And you can make the time to do it. And to me, that's the most important thing. Our Francis Foundation website is Francis with an E, francisfoundation.net. As many of others have, we have a PayPal that you can go on the website and donate right there. Our address is on the website. And please, you can contact me. I'm going to say it right here, 732-261-6294, 732-261-6294. That's my cell. You can text me directly right there anytime. I will meet with anybody, anytime, any place to help kids with cancer. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bob. Maureen.
Hi. If I was to sum up what Monmouth Park Charity Fund does, I would use the analogy of we are the heart of Monmouth Park Charity Fund. We give to so many. This is only a sample, a very small sample of who we give to, but just like a heart, we feed, like the arteries and the veins. This is the nursing in me talking. But if you want to just help, we only have 1.5 staff. So everything that we bring in, 99% of it goes back to the community and to these nonprofits that we're sitting here with. So sorry, it's all my papers. So if you would like to get involved with Monmouth Park Charity Fund, it's www.mpcharityfund.org. And we would love AI. We have some young things right now that are working with us, but I would love to learn more about that, and I think it would really help us. So we're really trying to get bigger now with our programs, but if you want to do, but not one-stop shopping, so to speak, Monmouth Park Charity Fund gives to so many of these nonprofits in our community.
Thank you so much, Maureen. And Gwendolyn Love is going to bring us home. You spend so much time helping, feeding folks and nourishing, what have you. Provide some nourishment here so we take away the lessons of Giving Tuesday and how we could all help work together to make the world a better place.
Well, I say start, just start. I really do. First of all, I do want to say thank you for this opportunity. This has really been really amazing and really nice to meet some new people that I did not know before. So thank you so much. And have a chance to also sit down with Jeremy and Maureen, because they do give to Lunch Break very generously, as well as other organizations. But I would just say start, and I think that, the world and our neighbors, they really need all of us. We need each other, very much so. We all have talents and skills that we can give out and share and learn from each other and teach each other. But our community is hurting. Our community really is hurting. There's so much uncertainty that we're all feeling right now, and we're all experiencing right now as well. And so nonprofits are the ones that are doing the work, but we don't do it alone. As many people on this panel have said, this is a community of people that are really trying to make a difference in the lives of so many that are going through so much. It may be financial, it may be medical. There's so many issues out there, too many to even discuss in one segment. But I will tell you that what I'm always inspired about myself is the giving, is the fact that when we put out a plea for coats or turkeys or whatever it is that we put out to the community does respond. And so, number one, we as nonprofits know how to ask. We know how to ask, right, Jeremy? We know how to ask. We know how to ask because we have to ask. Today is just one day, but we really do ask all year long. We really do. But time really is important as well. And so I really love the fact when people say, I really want to come to lunch break, I want a tour, I'd love to volunteer. It always turns into that. It always does. Because they see the need. And that's what I'm talking about, that connection of actually seeing yourself when you walk in the door. There are people that had walked in the door and saw people that they went to school with 20 years ago now sitting in the community kitchen for a hot meal. So, you never know when something is going to happen in someone's life that is going to tumble them, backwards. And so our goal is, and the work that we do, is to try to move people forward, to lift them up, to lift up their spirits. And so, and it takes a village to do that. It takes a village to do that. And one thing that Jeremy said I felt was very important, that people that are coming on, whether you're coming on the board or you're coming to volunteer, you have to realize that you're meeting people a lot of times at their worst, and they're not feeling that good. And so, you have to be able to be that kind of person that sees them, loves on them because they're human beings, and willing to just do the work that needs to get done. We invite any and everyone, and I think all nonprofits. I don't think there's anyone that would turn anyone away that has a good heart, good intent, and the right agenda, which is to help us with our mission. I don't want to leave without saying, first of all, I have an amazing board of trustees that have helped over the years. I'm going into now my 18th year, and no one does it alone. And I love when Beatrice said, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I know I'm not the smartest person in the room. I have amazing people that have wonderful, education, wonderful skill sets, and a big heart. So my board of trustees, my advisory council members, my staff, who are the boots on the ground. I love them. They are the hardest working people. And so you don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You can't impact a community if it's just you yourself. And so I'm very, very blessed. But lastly, I would tell you, I have the faith in God that whenever Lunch Break needs anything, and it really does happen day in and day out, when we need something, sometimes we don't even have to ask, and things come in the back door or the front door. And so he supplies all of our needs, and he will do the same thing for all of us, and he does that as well. So I just feel very blessed. I hope you're inspired, because going into this holiday season, a lot of people will be hurting because they will be lacking, but we can make the difference in their lives. That's what we're called to do.
Gwen, that's so well said. Thank you for that. And so all of us together, the folks, our panel, you're talking about a journey that you're on, different journeys, but it's all right about moving forward and moving forward together. So really, kudos to the folks who are already walking with you and how important their work is. And I'm absolutely confident through this podcast, ChamberCast today, that there will be new folks, new families that choose to take that important first step and join that walk with you on your journey to success, to ensuring a better place in all the different endeavors that you're involved with. So I want a big round of applause for our guest today. I want to thank you. It's very humbled to be in front of you today for hosting on behalf of Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, ChamberCast, and a round of applause for the folks that are here listening and watching and learning. Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate you all being here, and thank you for giving us it's pleasures. Giving Tuesday, Giving 365. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to join the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce and bringing together nonprofits and business together for that synergy. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you very much. And thank you, Ming. Appreciate everything. All right, folks, let's have a nice group picture and enjoy the rest of your day and the holidays. Hanukkah and Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and have a blessed holiday season. Thank you very much.